Assalamu alaikum. Hey guys, this is Abdul Shahid from Quranic Connection TV and welcome back to the Daily Quran Challenge. In today's episode we are talking about a verse of the Quran from page 11 Surah al-Baqarah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, ثُمَّ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُكُم مِّن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ فَهِيَ كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً وَإِنَّ مِنَ الْحِجَارَةِ لَمَا يَتَفَجَّرُ مِنْهُ الْأَنْهَارُ وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَشَّقَّقُ فَيَخْرُجُ مِنْهُ الْمَاءُ وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَحْبِطُ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. So in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, referring to the people that had gone to Musa alayhi salam, asking about the man who had killed the rich person. They were disputing. They went to Musa alayhi salam and they said to him, "O Musa alayhi salam, ask Allah to tell us, show us who it was that killed this person," because they were disputing amongst each other. Everyone was in denial. Each tribe or group would deny that it was one of theirs that did it. And so Musa alayhi salam was commanded, tell them to slaughter a cow and then take a portion of that cow and strike the corpse with it, and the corpse would reveal to them who it was. And so immediately after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ قَسَتْ قُلُوبُكُم مِّن بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ, and even after that, your hearts became hardened. Your hearts became hardened like stones. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَوْ أَشَدُّ ذَلِكَ, or even harder than the stone, even harder than a rock. How is that possible, right? So here, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then describes to us three types of stones, like Allah says to us, إِنَّ مِنَ الْحِجَارَةِ لَمَا يَتَفَجَّرُ مِنْهُ الْأَنْهَارُ. Indeed, there are from rocks, stones that they split open and rivers come gushing forth. And then there are stones that which splits open and water comes forth. And indeed there are those that they fall from the fear of Allah. They fall from their reverence for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're all that they have. And this is talking about Jabal Nur. This is Jabal Tur. This is talking about the mountain that Musa alayhi salam was standing on when he asked Allah to reveal himself to him. And what happened? The mountain collapsed. Musa alayhi salam fell unconscious. Right? Now that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes that as the mountain collapsing from the khashyatillah, from the fear of Allah, from that reverence, that awe that the mountain has for Allah. So Allah describes three types of rocks and says that your hearts are even harder. Why does Allah describe your heart, the people of Bani Israel? Like Allah describes them to tell us, don't be like them. Don't be like the people who had hearts harder than rock. Like, how can your heart be harder than rock? Your heart is harder than rock when it is devoid of mercy. It is devoid. It has no mercy in it. Like it sees something that should evoke emotion and make you feel like moving to action, but yet it is devoid of mercy. Like today in the world we see like people being like humiliated, people being killed in different places. Yet like the hard heart looks at it and says, no, they deserve it. Look, they're humans. How can any human, regardless of their creed, regardless of their color, how can they deserve like that kind of torment? Who deserves to see their own children killed in front of them? Who deserves to have humiliation in front of the entire world, in front of their own family members? Who deserves to have this kind of hatred like thrown upon them? But no one deserves it. No one, regardless of their religion, regardless of their color or their wealth or poverty, whatever it is, no one deserves this. This is humanity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us here. Now Allah is telling us that when your hearts become hard, then they are hard, they are rough, and Allah describes them as being rough. Allah describes the hearts as being rough. And Allah is telling us, Allah told the Prophet ﷺ that had you been hard-hearted, like being rough with the people would have fled from you. They would have run from you. Like had you had a heart like that? No, the rahmah that Allah instills in the believing heart is one that feels emotions, ones that feel compassion towards others. Like feeling compassion, feeling mercy, feeling affection, feeling like you want empathy, like you want to help, regardless of whether there's any benefit in there for you. This is from the perfection of character. Allah is teaching us here that you have to focus. Again, we come back to the heart, because that is the central command of your entire body, of your actions. if your heart is hard like how Allah describes in this verse, then what will happen? Your actions will be rough, they'll be coarse, you will behave with the people in the most terrible way. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us, focus on your hearts. Focus on your hearts. Cleanse your hearts from malice, from hatred, from wanting to see bad happen to other people, from jealousy and envy. Like, be grateful to Allah so that you don't have that jealousy and envy in you. And ultimately, have mercy towards the creation. Because if you are merciful towards the creation, Allah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim is going to be merciful upon you. And that is what we want, right? So we want the perfection of character. And you cannot perfect your character until you perfect your heart. So you have to focus in on that. And inshallah, we will leave it with that. Allah describes the rocks as being full of moisture, full of softness, full of life. Because, you know, why does Allah describe water coming from the rocks? Because water is the source of life. Water is the source of life. Without water we can't exist. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, from the hardest of things, like the source of life comes. So if your heart was to be even similar to a rock, it should be like the rock that the rivers come flowing forth. The rivers of mercy, rivers of compassion, rivers of empathy. And inshallah ta'ala, I'll leave you with that. So don't forget, look at the next page. Think of one ayah that can have an impact on your life. Make notes, reflect. This journey is all about reflection. It's about perfecting our character, but it's about reflecting on the Quran, making it the companion of our lives. So jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.